In this video, I want to set out for you 4 team leadership priorities that conveniently spell out the word lead. My first team leadership priority is listening. Listening is, for me, the most fundamental communication skill. The ability not just to be in the same room as someone, appearing to listen to them, but to hear them deeply, to give your full attention to somebody, and therefore to completely understand what it is they're saying and the way that they're saying it. Listening is a skill to practice and craft. And we've done a video about listening in the context of negotiation, so it's well worth having a look at that, because that will give you many of the tools you need to improve your listening. But why does it matter? It matters because the most fundamental need of a human being is to be heard. And if you can really listen to somebody and understand what they're saying, then you can respond all the more effectively. The problem with really listening, with shutting out all of that talk in your own head, is that it doesn't give you time to think about how you're going to respond. But you know what? That's a good thing. Because when someone has finished speaking, if you need to be silent and think about what you've just heard for a moment or two, you're fundamentally saying to them is that what you said is important and it is sophisticated and subtle, and I need to think about it. That's a huge compliment to the person that you're leading. If, on the other hand, you're able to listen to what they say and then respond immediately, you're kind of saying, I knew what you were going to say. It was easy. I knew how I was going to respond straight away. I didn't even need to think about it. That's an insult. Don't do it. My second leadership priority is encouraging. A huge part of your job as leader is to encourage your team to thrive and do well, to do their best possible job, to perform at their peak. And the way that we do this is by noticing what they're doing, by recognizing the successes that they're having, by cheering them on, by congratulating them, by celebrating what it is that they are achieving. Encouraging is just another word for motivation. And of course, here at Management Courses, we have a whole course on motivation. So do look up our motivation playlist. It is, at the time of recording this, our most popular course, and rightly so. My third leadership priority is asserting. Yes, as a leader, your job is to make sure that your team gets the job done, and sometimes you need to tell them what it is that they need to do and the role that each of them has. Asserting is not the same as controlling. It's not the same as bossing people about. It is about being clear what you expect of people and delivering that information in a highly respectful manner. In our course on personal impact, we have a whole series of modules on assertiveness, and I do recommend you take a look at them. My final team leadership priority is deciding, because management is about making a series of choices. Each choice is a decision, and to make a good decision, you have to understand the context. You have to have the thinking tools to be able to assess it properly, and then you have to make an informed choice. And sometimes there is no obvious single right choice. Sometimes it's a choice between a number of options that aren't ideal. Sometimes there are more than one good choice to make. Your team will not always agree with the decisions that you make. So another important part of leadership is knowing when it's right to defend them and when you don't need to. But my simple rule is that human beings crave a good, meaty because. If in doubt, explain your reasoning, explain the logic. Make sure, however, that people are aware of the facts upon which you have built the logic. Because if they're not aware of the facts, then the logic just doesn't make sense. But the simple truth is this, that people will always ask the question why in their heads, even if they don't ask it to you in person. And if they can't get a good answer to their question why, then they will not be motivated. So you need to understand the situation. You need to understand the priorities for yourself and for your team. And you need to figure out the right thing to do. As I'm recording this, we don't yet have a course on decision making, but there is one in the planning, and we will have one in the not too distant future. So, 4 leadership priorities: listening, encouraging, asserting, and deciding. If you are a team leader, you will need to be doing all 4 of these things all day and every day. Sometimes some will be more important than others, but you can never leave behind the priority as a team leader to lead, to listen, encourage, to assert, and to decide. Please do give a thumbs up if you like this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so please do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.